See the train, Bear? Train.
I always knew I wanted to be a dad.
You want to go this way? Which way you want to go? Hey, Bear, which way you want to go?
Yeah.
Which way?
Yeah.
That way? Okay. We'll wait for the light to turn green.
I didn't know when, I didn't know what it would look like.
Are you ready to go?
Go.
1, 2, 3, go!
But I knew I wanted to be a dad.
Lukey is one of the happiest souls you'll meet. He has pure joy. I'm Jennifer Allen. A lot of people call me Jen.
I'm Jeffrey Allen. Been married to Jen for 10 years. And we have 2 amazing boys, Jack and Lucas.
When he looks at you, there is no agenda. There's nothing. So for me, when I can get myself out of the way enough and just enjoy that, he will light up my world.
Bye.
And I will forget how hard it can be because all he wants us to be is present. Oh!
So Lucas finds joy in what he's doing. And he's a happy boy. For years, I always thought that, it was cliche for dad to say, oh, the best day of my life was this, other than my kids being born. I thought they just said it. But for me, when Jack was born, I got it. And when Lucas was born, same thing. And he came out, he was the most handsome baby I've ever seen. I mean, he was just beautiful, very quiet, sweet, kind of little smiles. Then again, it just repeated. It was one of the best days of my life.
What color is that ball?
Bye.
Is it brown
Bye.
or black?
Bye.
Black.
Bye.
We did all sorts of tests. I mean, we hooked his body up to so many sensors and machines to figure out, was it his hearing? Was it his sight? Was it his kind of equilibrium? We didn't know. And, we called in, I feel like, every favor we could to get into the right specialist to uncover what was going on. But as the months went on, we got more and more concerned, and we started asking questions to our pediatrician, then to kind of early interventionalist, and kind of everybody had the common theme that he is developmentally delayed. And again, that's a pretty vague term. Does that mean he's going to catch up? Does that mean something else is wrong?
So with that diagnosis, what kicked off was basically a lot of therapies. So we immediately started speech and OT and PT and early intervention. We started all of that trying to teach him how to walk because he hadn't walked yet. We thought if we could intervene early enough, maybe we would be okay.
I just felt like people were scared to tell us what may be. And we needed that. We needed to know what was going on.
So my best memory with Lucas, I won't say I have one, but I have a lot of good memories with Lucas. Whenever he's in a good mood and I play with him, I usually have fun. Once I play with him for like 5 minutes, I start having a lot of fun.
That summer he turned 2, I just had this moment at work and I go, it's not the right diagnosis. And very serendipitously, my uncle happens to be at UCSF and he said, look, let me reach out to my genetics department and see if they kind of know anything that may present like this, because he was socially engaged with eye contact, so it wasn't autism. So he had asked a favor and said, hey, can the genetics team meet my niece and her son? So a week before our MRI, we met a geneticist at UCSF who had just gotten back from a metabolic conference. And he said, okay, you're doing the MRI. Let's throw in an MRS, which measures the metabolic levels within the brain, and see what comes up, because the more information we have, probably the better.
So now we got an MRI and an MRS. We got the result, MRI, perfect. His brain looks perfect on the MRI, but the MRS clearly showed that something was wrong. It showed that creatine would get to his brain, get to his blood-brain barrier, then just stop. So his brain wasn't getting the creatine that it needed.
So it's like a transporter, like a little cart that transports it. Lucas's, his doesn't like work, so it doesn't go up into it, so he learns a lot slower.
Hence, he was diagnosed with Creatine Transporter Deficiency. It's just a little transporter protein that takes the creatine from the blood and into the brain, and his is defective.
And I remember having missed 7 calls from my pediatrician. And she goes, well, I've never heard of this, and I've never seen a case.
I got scared, and it wasn't really, for me, it was for what I had to tell Jen. There's 3 creatine deficiencies. You have AGAT, you have GAMT, and you have CTD. The first 2, if diagnosed and treated properly, the kids can thrive. The kids can have somewhat normal lives, meaning they can go to high school, they can go off to college, they can play sports. But the third, CTD, which Lucas had, there wasn't a cure. There wasn't a treatment. Those kids don't go on to have normal lives. They will always need assistance with activities of daily living, meaning that they're going to live with their parents forever.
And I called my best friend, who is a speech therapist. I was like, have you heard of this? And she goes, no. And then she goes, he'll be okay. He'll be okay. We'll figure it out. He's delayed.
I didn't know what to feel, because I didn't know what I could hope for anymore. You know,
it's a very rare condition. There's less than 500 globally diagnosed, though it's probably severely underdiagnosed because Lukey got the global development delay diagnosis. Like we said, there's no treatment. Almost every doctor we talked to, including Lukey's team on the ground, from genetics and neuro and pediatrics and labs, had never seen his condition live, much less knew a solution on how to treat it or what it meant.
So my understanding of the disease is that it can be quite devastating to families. And so the disease doesn't show itself at birth. It's as the child is developing that parents will notice deficits in the development of the child. And since all children develop at different rates, sometimes you're not sure whether you're seeing something or not. And so awareness of the disease and knowing that there's genetic testing available can be highly valuable to those families and those patients by identifying the disease as early as possible, getting the patients into treatment as early as possible, and avoiding misdiagnoses.
And I could not believe that there was not a solution. Obviously, I was a little naive. You know, I didn't realize how complex getting drugs and getting therapies to the brain is, but it still didn't change the way I felt. You know, I was heartbroken to think that I just felt foolish. I felt like I had all this hope and hey, things are gonna work out. I felt like this positivity, you know, that has suited me very well in my life kind of let me down.
Come on out.
It's just heartbreaking. It's God, what did he do, this beautiful, sweet boy, to deserve this? It was hard.
Yeah, get a book.
Oh no! Oh no!
The problem
is that creatine as a molecule will not be able to enter the cell without a transporter. Think of the transporter as like a bridge, and in this situation the bridge has collapsed and you're a car that's trying to go from one side of the bridge to the other, and the only way you can get across, let's say it's a body of water, the only way you're able to get your car across is by taking that bridge. There's no other options. And now that that bridge is collapsed, it's functionally impossible for that car to get across.
Lucas is 7, and sometimes it still feels like we have a toddler. He's not yet potty trained. The piece of everyday life that really is impacted by him is his communication. So he's a smart boy. I feel it, I see it. He has a hard time communicating.
Please. No. See, you drink? You should be thirsty. No?
And it's hard because although he's in the moment, it doesn't mean the moment's always full of joy. And there's times, and it happens every day, it happens multiple times a day, it can happen a dozen times a day, where he is upset, he's angry, he'll throw tantrums, he can get physical, typically with people he knows.
When you play with Lucas, you are playing with an oversized 2 to 3. Once he grabs something and puts it back, you know he's gonna throw it, even if he's in a good mood. For no reason, probably.
Bear.
Oh, my book, I don't care. It's
Bear.
shit. I don't care.
I had to grieve the life I thought he would have. When you have children, what you hope for them and for their childhood, but their upbringing to adulthood and their futures. That's what came with the diagnosis. And I think it's important that parents be given the space to go through whatever that looks like for them.
So stinky. It's so stinky.
Lukey probably saved our marriage because our purpose became greater than just our own needs. But ultimately, his existence is also why I know I can do really hard things.
Bye.
So we're here, Jack's last baseball game of the season, which is awesome, and got here early so he can warm up, and fingers crossed Jen and Lukey are joining us. We don't know what's going to happen because we don't know if how Lukey's going to behave, or if he's finished lunch, or how he's feeling. This is right in the middle of the day. This is right in the middle of Lukey's usual nap. So we'll have to see if he gets tired or if he's going to brave through and see his brother's last game. I got a chair for him just in case.
Yeah, good watching. Jack. Can you say Jack? Yeah. Look, Lukey. Lukey bear.
Come here.
You want to watch?
Well, I asked him, I go, do you want Lukey to come to games? And he goes, nah. And I go, are you embarrassed? He goes, sometimes. I go, what about it? He goes, I just don't know what he's going to do. So, you're just fair.
I think it's neat for him to know that we're all here
I know.
and to see Lukey smiling and having fun.
No. okay? Did you choke?
You alright, sweet boy?
Good.
I think you just drank too much water, too fast.
You too fast? No.
You okay, sweet man?
Yeah.
You call it a day?
Hey, Bear Bear, can Mama go home? Take a nap?
No.
Yeah, nap. I love you.
Good.
Say bye-bye.
Good.
I'm gonna take Bear home for nap. Good job. I'll see you later. You did pretty good. Okay. I know you're worried about any bears. Watch out. I'm gonna close this on you. Okay, bye. Yuki, let go.
These interactions that are kind of joyous and fun with Jack are kind of few and far between. It's kind of a catch-22.
Get up, Jack's backpack. Lucky, get up.
He's saying bye to me.
No, he's not. He said backpack.
No, he's saying bye to me.
Come here, Jack.
I know Jack wants to engage with Lucas, but there's times where, in order to get mom and dad's attention, Lucas will, have a tantrum or go try to pull Jack, pull his hair, mess up whatever Jack is doing, because he knows that mom and dad will come.
Okay, there's not gonna be a good time because no matter when you break away, he'll be upset. Hey babes. Hey. Bear, come down. Brother's gonna shower. Can Mama play with you? Can Mama play?
So all this attention that we give to Lucas to attend to his needs is attention that we don't give to Jack. And we're still figuring it out, but he's blessed to live next door to his cousins.
When James and Alex see him, they're like, Lukey, alert, Lukey, alert.
Hey, Lukey Bear. Thank you, Bubba.
What am I doing?
So Lucas loves his cousins. They live right next door. One of his cousins is just 3 months older. So they're in essence the same age. And if Lucas had, kind of a neurotypical kiddo, they'd be playing and hanging out every day. They'd be best friends. And Lucas wants to play with them. You can see it. Yeah, you like playing with your cousins? He wants to play with them, but his condition doesn't allow it. Things will go well for a few minutes, and then things kind of just turn on a dime, and we'll pull them or yank them or get aggressive, and it's hard. It's hard for him, and it's also obviously hard for the cousins to want to play with Lucas when you're always thinking that you're going to get pulled or yanked. We can't pull, sweet boy. We gotta be gentle.
They mostly try to avoid him.
How does that make you feel?
I can see why. Because it's not like they're with him all the time and know how he behaves.
Are you all done throwing? You all done throwing? What did you get for the turkey? Are you done throwing?
I've been in drug development for well over 25 years. The majority of my career has been spent developing drugs for neurodegenerative diseases. Creatine Transporter Deficiency, when you first begin thinking about it, is a deceptively simple disease. It's just a disease where creatine is just not getting to where it needs to go. And so, especially when it comes to getting into the proper compartments in the brain.
So if you were to go to some nutrition store and buy some powder of creatine and take it in your water every day, although now you have more creatine circulating in your system, you're still faced with the same problem, that there's no transporter to get it through this to the cell where it needs to be. And so that's why research that we're doing is important, because these drugs are going to be designed to get creatine across the cell in a way that it cannot do by itself.
And the research is so valuable. Even a study just came out recently that showed that the supplementation that Lucas has been taking, that other kids take, had shown a marked improvement in speech, in communication, in decrease of seizures. And so for us, like, raising funds to help research is one thing, which is awesome. We have to do that. But raising awareness, so people who go, wow, I have this, I think I might know someone with this condition. Let me get them tested. There is supplementation that you can take that could help you get some creatine. Everybody's mutation is different. And some mutations allow uptake of creatine to get to the brain, although, albeit a small amount, but every little bit counts. For CTD, there's no newborn screening. And yet if there was, and parents knew, they could supplement. They could provide creatine, glycine, arginine. They could start doing therapies such as speech, occupational, physical. A lot of times you hear scientists, or you hear more actually on the medical side, say, nope, we're not going to do any newborn screening if there's no medical therapy. But that's BS. Lucas has changed so much from his speech therapy. And I think parents deserve to know if their kids have this condition so they can supplement with creatine, glycine, and arginine, and also complement with speech, occupational, and physical therapy. We're recently added to the RUSP, the Recommended Uniform Screening Protocol for newborn screening for GAMT. So we're screening for GAMT in multiple states at newborn screening. Many more states to come. All 50 states should be on it, for sure. You will help find a kid who has GAMT that can be treated from birth and have a normal life. So that's some of our advocacy efforts. I would love to have that for CTD.
My name is Heidi Wallace. I am the Executive Director for the Association for Creatine Deficiencies, and I'm also a parent to 2 children with a creatine deficiency. Creatine deficiencies are caused by a genetic mutation, and most parents, like myself, first time they hear about these disorders is when they're getting a diagnosis. And typically this is after a long time of wondering what's wrong with their child and seeing them miss milestones and struggle to develop the way parents had expected. One really exciting thing about creatine deficiencies is they're caused by a single gene. A single gene mutation is responsible for this. When you know what gene is causing a disease, it gives you a really good chance of solving the disease. We have researchers around the world that we've been working with for years, and their heart's in it. They're not working on big projects that are going to bring them big money, but we need to keep them going. We need to keep supporting them, and frankly, we need to cast a wider net. We need to find more people to join this fight, to help us hurry. Every day without creatine for the brain and the muscles is a day gone by that you could have been headed in the right direction. You could have fueled up your brain. And we have some forms of creatine where people are diagnosed quite old, 20, 30 years old. And once those people with the treatable creatine deficiency get creatine, man, they take off. So there's hope for everyone.
With all the resources and technology that we have, there's no chance that there's a future where we don't figure this stuff out. And so I'm really inspired to be helpful in that situation and try and be part of the solution and not shy away from a problem just because it's intimidating.
I go on every social media I can. You know, I go on Facebook, I go on Twitter, I go on Instagram, and I search, you know, in the hashtags CTD, Creatine Transporter. And somehow I replied on a thread, and then I get a DM from a parent who has a son with CTD. And she goes, "Hey, have you heard of the Association for Creatine Deficiencies? Like, I'm on the board there. You know, we'd love to talk to you." You know, and she reached out. We had a great conversation. And when I got introduced to ACD, I felt that hope again. To think about, okay, God, well, what if this happens? What if he has seizures? What if his seizures are so bad that they have to do brain surgery? Well, what happens if if something happens to us as we age and he has to live somewhere else? These are all thoughts that I know she's had, that, you know, we've all had, and they're scary. So for me, having ACD and really learning about all the initiatives that they're doing with families and with researchers gave me some positive stuff to share with Jen. ACD is the primary non-governmental funding source for research on creatine transporter deficiency across the world. When it comes to a cure, we first have to discover it, then we have to put it through the process to make sure it's clinically safe, and then it has to commercialize and has to become a drug or an injection or whatever the modality is. But it has to start somewhere. The amount of research and the amount of research gains in the last kind of 4 or 5 years since I've been involved is astronomical. It's unbelievable. And the community of researchers are so collaborative. People are sharing information and data to help advance this because they understand that they have met these kids to actually put a face to these molecules that they're moving around on the computer screen. There are lives that are impacted by what they're trying to study and what they're trying to discover.
Having the opportunity to meet kids who have CTD is instrumental in my source of motivation to try and look for something that can be used as a therapeutic for the disease. And so, in my experience, meeting with different people who have CTD, that's put a face to the issue for me and has been really paramount in my motivation when I keep trying to summit that mountain of challenges.
I do think that aligning the different scientific groups that are working on this, along with funding agencies and advocacy groups, that there is a lot of hope in coming up with a treatment for this chronic disease.
Oh!
Bye. Bye. Bye.
No.
I love you. Go. Bye.
Okay.
Go in.
And it probably wasn't until he was 6, 7, 8 months old where we saw some things that didn't line up with Jack's milestones. So, you know, the optimist in me was, everything's going to be okay. He's just a little bit delayed. He's kind of behind. And, you know, that's common. I mean, obviously, if you have 2 children, one's going to be in front of the other.
Got his hair cut in. Now it's bath time. This is a fun little time. We do this is every night, almost. We'll do a bath or a shower. He's been in the showers lately, so I'll get him set up in the shower. All right, so I get his PJs, I get his diaper, I get his sleep sack, get floss, get his toothbrush, get his wet paste, all ready. So when we're done with the shower, we get him dressed, get on a sleep sack, we brush his teeth, and then we go play for a little bit.
It's been nice now that he'll watch an iPad. But you know what I was thinking today, Jack? He did pretty good at your baseball game. So now I'm starting to wonder if mommy's actually holding Lukey back on doing things, and maybe I should try harder. What? I was thinking Lukey did so good at your baseball game that maybe I should take him out more. Because maybe he'll do better, and maybe it's mommy that's so worried, and he'll be fine. What do you think? Do you think I'm the problem?
Hi.
It's me?
Sometimes, yeah.
In what way?
I'm nervous.
Yeah, like me and you get so nervous.
Yes, but I don't have the decision
Power.
that Lucas. Yeah.
So, based on today's baseball, no, thank you.
Who's gonna
Based on today's baseball game, do you think mommy should take that as a sign that I should?
Yes.
Once I realized what this disease was, I go, okay, there's no cure, there's no therapy, there's not much we can do for the brain. But Jennifer, there's stuff we can do for his heart. You know, and so how do we love him? How do we find out what excites him and give more of it? How do we bring more smiles to his face?
For what he watches, he loves trains.
So we go on a ton of walks, and we started going around, and every time we'd go to kind of a train crossing and they would come down, he would get excited and he would like make noises and look back at me to see if like I'm as excited as he is, or hey, do you see this, Dad? He's living in the now, and it's actually pretty inspiring. I really feel that he has so much joy to give and share because he's in the moment. And when you can get in that moment with him, there's nothing like it.
So for part of Luki's medication is multivitamin, and this thing that's called Sami. That's actually surprisingly like a mood stabilizer for elderly people. We give him twice a day through syringe because he won't tolerate it.
The tricky thing, Jack, is sometimes if we feed him his medicine after he started eating, he then boycotts eating. Okay, I'm done.
We taste tested it. It tastes disgusting. So we've been lucky that he tolerates it. But it's just that added extra step.
I think life is hard in general for a lot of people. I don't want to pretend like our life is any harder because I think pain is pain, and every person has their version of it. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend my life is harder than anyone else, but it was hard for me. It's part of the reason why we're doing this. Is we've been really blessed with our community, but sometimes we don't think that everybody has been given the chance to understand our journey medically, scientifically, but also as a family.
No? Yeah. Should we go home?
What?
Oh.
Home.
Oh.
Home. And why, when we ask and we ask again, and then we ask you to show up again for donations, is because we think we have a chance. We think we have a chance that I don't have to look at Jack and go, I'm sorry you don't have a normal sibling like your cousins do. Because sometimes that's what he wishes for. You know, he wishes he had a brother that could talk.
Papa.
Papa?
Papa. What did you say?
Or that could play with him. Or when he asks, really sincerely and sweetly, but asking, where will Luki go when you and Daddy aren't here? And I think at 9, he like feels the pressure and the responsibility. Luki probably saved our marriage because our purpose became greater than just our own needs. But ultimately, his existence is also why I know I can do really hard things. And when I thought it couldn't get any harder, you know, he had other plans to show me what resilience was and what commitment was to a partner, to a child, you know, to myself. So that's been part of the last 5 years as well, being his mom and being Jack's mom. Sometimes he comes back from school And we know it was a good day, but he's also super happy to be home. He moves around Jack, and they have small interactions that are really big deals for us. When we can stop long enough to enjoy that, we're like, he's here for us. You know, he's here to make us better. So great days are available if I just make the space for them.
It's not just about Lucas. He and I are here together to do something bigger. And that means, how do we help the other kids? I would love for parents to know early on if their kids are suffering with CTD and not have to go through the multiple year diagnosis journey like we did. There are lives that are impacted by what they're trying to study and what they're trying to discover. I am confident that with the right researchers and a very dedicated group of parents, that we will fund and find a cure. And although we can't turn back time with Lucas, we can't go back to when he was a baby and give him this cure. I think we will see significant changes in the way he communicates, the way he interacts. Fast forward 7 years from now, to have a kid who is born with CTD, to get diagnosis at birth, to therapies soon thereafter, so that kiddos who are born with CTD can have an everyday life like your son or your daughter. That's the ultimate dream. Like for me, it's that would be the legacy, like knowing Lucas and knowing how sweet of a boy he is. I think he would love to leave that legacy for other kids.
And we have 6 active gene therapy research projects going on right now, a lot of them with really promising results. We have researchers at Stanford University looking at small molecule approaches to delivering creatine in a way that these kids can use. We have researchers from the University of Utah to Italy to France, all pitching in. They're collaborating. They're coming to symposiums that we host and sharing their findings and talking to each other and discussing how they can help one another.
We would love nothing more to help all the other kids right now who are diagnosed, the tens of thousands of kids who we think are not even diagnosed, underdiagnosed, and the countless others who are yet to be born. I know we can make a difference, and I know that Jen and I and ACD can't do it by ourselves.
Research that we're doing is important because these drugs are going to be designed to get creatine across the cell in a way that it cannot do by itself.
I know we're going to get there, but we need your help.
With all the resources and technology that we have, there's no chance that there's a future where we don't figure this stuff out.
At the beginning of 2023, the Secretary of Health and Human Services signed off on all states being recommended to start screening for this creatine deficiency because of the power of that early intervention with creatine delivered properly. And because of this, we know the difference we can make with an early diagnosis for all types of creatine deficiencies. But my son was diagnosed at birth thanks to his big sister. He's been taking creatine 4 times a day for 12 years, and he's doing great. He plays hockey, he loves video games, he's in mainstream school, he's never had a seizure, and that's the power of creatine.
I want to find a therapy for all of us. And I know this is just one rare disease amongst thousands that impacts so many kids and their entire families.
We will find a cure for creatine deficiencies. We won't give up until we have done that.
If we work together, we can do this.